It is 6:59 and 40 seconds here on the family station Love 101 FM.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM, the number one gospel station in Jamaica. I am your host, Stokeley Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541, or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also check us out on Love 101 FM Facebook Live and YouTube Live in the main watch today. Where are the nice Christians? In the second watch, National Helmet Wearing Coalition. In our social media question, we ask, why do you or someone you know refuse to wear a helmet while driving a motorcycle? Share your responses on our Facebook or YouTube Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes too. 876-9973-125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your comments later on the program, but first, here's I quote.
The I quote for today: never bend your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. And that's from Helen Keller. Oh, poetic.
Strictly speaking, can a head be bent?
Well,
anyway, that was just me being very.
well, it's true. You can't bend your head.
Can't
You
bend-
bend your neck, not your head.
Exactly. Sir Kareem, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy as usual.
All right. Well, the main watch will be back after this break.
Another World of Worship Wednesday is coming your way inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. March 27, packed with worship, fun, and information. Stick around for the brain testing Mentasize at 1:45. Prayer Blast will come your way at 2 o'clock. More prayer, more power. 2:15, we feature Todd Delaney as our worship artist of the day. At 3 p.m., we bring you hot topics. Join us to find out what's trending in your world of entertainment, sports, lifestyle, you name it. All this and more will come your way inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. This World of Worship Wednesday, March 27, with yours truly, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
This is a special announcement from Love 101 and Love Television. Our general offices will be closed to the public at 12 noon on Holy Thursday, March 28, 2024, through to Easter Monday, April 1, 2024, and will reopen on Tuesday, April 2 at 8:30 a.m. Programs and commercials for the period Thursday, March 28 through to Tuesday, April 2 should be submitted by 9 a.m. on Wednesday, March 27, 2024, and obituaries and notices by 10 a.m. on the same day to ensure scheduling for broadcast. Love 101 and Love Television wish for you and yours a holy and peaceful Easter weekend.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. This is a particularly thought-provoking title, but it is indicated that someone had to ask the question. The world literally expects Christians to be nice. However, Are Christians always nice? And should Christians always be nice? There are lots of ways of being unnice, of being not nice, unnice, even as Christians. How would Christians as a whole stack up as against other persons in society? And should we even be concerned about this? Well, we have online today to have a discussion about this Minister Simon Azan. He is the author of Where Are the Nice Christians? That's the question he's raising. Good morning, Minister Azan. How are you?
Morning, Brother Stokeley. How are you?
Um,
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming on to the program. And first of all, your book, Where Are the Nice Christians? Is the book published as yet?
Book is not yet published, but it will be by this summer. That is the earmarked time. I want to have it out by as early as June.
Okay, okay. Now, a quick question. It appears to be your thesis that many Christians are not nice. Is this based on empirical research or is it based on anecdotal information? What's the basis for this thesis?
Well, I need to give a little backdrop. But first of all, I want to say good morning to all of the listeners. Thank you, Brother Stokely, for having me and the other hosts and producers. And I want to say a big good morning to all of the listeners that are online and driving to work this morning. I wish for you all a safe and wonderful day. If I may regress a little, you asked a question. I have to give a little um, backdrop for my thesis, as you call it. I spent almost 30 years in professional hospitality, working for companies such as Sandals for 14 years, both regionally um, and locally. Worked for other hotels in the United States and all over the world. Worked for the Hendrickson Group, and I was exposed to professional hospitality and indeed have a degree in that. So I have it on paper as a master's degree in hospitality and tourism management. Then I got the call, spiritually if you will, back in 2007 to leave the hospitality industry behind and go to Bible school. So I was now at Bible school in the United States. While I'm there, going through the rigors of student life at, how old was I at the time? I may have been in my 40s at the time, right? And then 2 years of seminary to get the degree, and then a year in um, optional training, and then hired by the institute that I was at to be their the institute business manager. I was at church perpetually. When you go to seminary, you are at church perpetually, day in, day out. Everything is Christian based. This is not casting an aspersion on one location. What I was exposed to um, were many churches, many churches. Part of church life, part of your experience is going into churches, being around church people, being around Christian people. Coming back into Jamaica and being um, again reassimilated into the Jamaican landscape and the church, I can tell you that the experience is largely based on, or my thesis is largely based on experience. I experience this one. In fact, indeed, I experience this on a daily basis.
And your
Have
experience was that Christians were not nice?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to generalize. I may mash some cons in the generalization, but the actual truth is I am encountering and I have encountered nicer people in the professional realm than I'm encountering nice Christians. What is the
Stick,
basis
stick up,
of
stick up in there. What do you mean, or what do you think nice ought to mean?
well, let me if I may, let me use a dictionary version of what the world describes as nice: being kind and genuine to others, being honest, having proper manners, saying please and thank you, being generally respectful. Okay, and these are
And
the things. These are the things that if you spend long enough in the hospitality industry, these things would be foundational to your daily existence as a
do you
hospitality
still work in
professional.
do you still work in that sector, the hospitality sector?
I don't. I left the hotel business in 2016. My
Okay.
last tenure was in
In other words, after seminary, etc., you didn't return.
no, I came back. When I came back to Jamaica in 2014, I went and worked for one or two organizations, but I eventually left in the summer of 2016. I'm in a
I see.
totally different realm right now, but still the residual effects. I still do ministry, still of course go to church, still interact with Christian people on a daily basis, and the message has not changed. I
So you're
started
saying that
writing this book in
Christian, you're
2009.
saying that Christians, in your experience anyway, are not always nice. They're not always kind. They're not always gentle. That, in a nutshell, is what you're saying.
Well, yes, yes.
Okay.
And this ties right back into the fruit of the spirit. And literally, when I preached, I was invited to preach this message by a particular pastor and ministry about 3 weeks ago. I describe it as a 911 or a 119 emergency, depending on where you are in the world. It is an emergency, right?
Okay.
It's a question that is asked with a lot of emphasis behind it.
I took a look at the sermon that you preached those few weeks ago, and it was very interesting. And a quick one I want to raise, having watched the sermon online on YouTube, is in terms of the work you did in the hospitality sector, is it that persons were literally paid to be nice? And you can't always know if their niceness was sincere or whether they were just doing it as part of their job. In other words, asking persons to be nice is one thing, but someone can be nice and they don't really mean it. Any comments on that?
Well, from a professional perspective, I want to coin the phrase: you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time. And why I say this is because the basic prerequisite for joining the hospitality industry, and I want to use a local practice in the hotel industry and also an international practice, is that you're looking for one little aspect, a little bulb to go off, a little light to go off when someone sits in front of you and you're doing your preliminary interviews. And you're looking for that one thing. You only have 2 minutes to do it, because you're looking for 500 employees and you have 5,000 people show up. So you do the math. You're sitting down there with a group of managers, and we're looking for one thing that exemplifies that this person possibly has the foundation, a little foundation that we can work with in terms of hospitality. You know what that is? A smile, a natural smile. I believe I mentioned it in the message. Now, if that person comes up, you relax them and they're sitting and they can't come up with a smile, then that person is probably not a naturally nice person, and probably somebody that you could maybe if they worked in the hospitality industry, maybe they wouldn't be front line, because it wouldn't be a natural thing for them to smile, right? The people who smile a lot eventually end up with smile lines or laugh lines, right? The other practices that places like Disney World, for example, traditionally go to areas in the United States where they consider the people there to be nice people naturally. And then, so now, if you're looking at international, regional, local, now you have something that you can work with. You asked me the question of whether or not people are paid to be nice. It was like from 6 o'clock this morning, the Lord spoke to me and told me that you were going to ask that question. I felt it in my spirit. In a sense, you are paid to be nice. People that come to a hotel expect to
Minister
be
Simon
to be
Azan,
treated.
only because of time, I'm going to ask you to hold that thought 1 second. Do
Okay.
not lose your train of thought. We're going to take a break. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
Aculab Diagnostics Limited, located at ATL Plaza in Montego Bay, for all your blood testing needs. Open every day, including Sundays, 6132714.
The time by Aculab Diagnostics Limited is
7:15 and 6 seconds here on the family station Love 101 FM.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less, or 2 or 3, at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar, and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease, and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Act now. Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Mommy, what are you sneaking and eating?
You catch me.
That's not the mother's Easter bun you promised me, is it?
No. Well, yes. Well, I was preparing it for you for tomorrow. And a little drop off.
You call them 2 slice liquor, Mommy?
You catch me. Shouldn't you be asleep?
With all the noise, Mommy, I need some mother's Easter bun before I go back to bed.
Winner of the 2023 King of Buns Easter Bun Contest. Mother's Easter Bun is baked to perfection.
A sub bun for nice. Can I get another slice?
Mother's Easter Bun. Grab one before them done.
More deliciousness
from Mother's Bakery.
Yes, me get the last cheese. Tasty me. Brothers and sisters, at the end of Easter service, we have cheese. Tasty beat. Only if we get no bun and cheese. Tasty beat. Serve, sell me some bun and cheese. Tasty beat. Why, this very nice with some tasty cheese. Tasty beat.
Could I have some cheese, please?
Tasty beat. Make we get on real bad with the tasty cheese, boy. Tasty beat with tasty cheese. If you're a farmer or a fisher folk, this one's for you. Sagicor AgriCare Plan. With AgriCare Plan, you can get affordable insurance coverage for you and your family. Life insurance, critical illness coverage, or health insurance for as little as $1,700 every 3 months. Visit SagicorAgriCare.com to learn more. Farmers and fisher folk, get the insurance coverage your family deserves today with Sagicor AgriCare Plan.
Ooh la la. I see what I want at Fast Rate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Come get your wires, breakers, chandeliers, flood lamps, LED bulbs, and so much more. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Fast Rate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. See you there at Fast Rich. Open Sundays.
Alright, we're going to do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't waste the hype. Don't waste the tunes. Don't waste the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on your family station. Tune in at 4 p.m. for our gym feature where we share word to grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving of their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We're going to take the poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Fags at 5. All this and more every Saturday on your family station. Love 101 at 3 p.m. inside Youth Connection with your love jockey, your boy, DJ Rebirth.
DJ Rebirth.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We're having a discussion this morning with Minister Simon Azan, author of Where Are the Nice Christians? And the topic is, where are the nice Christians? Minister Simon Azan, please continue your thought that you were sharing with us just before the break.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Stokely. I want to read something. It says, often people use words nice and kind interchangeably. I've come to realize that these two words are very different when it comes to intention. Being nice is a self centered behavior that only comes with the intent of pleasing others. So, in other words, um, you may have the prerequisite material to work with. You may get trained in the art and science of hospitality. We're looking at it from a professional point of view. And then you are thrown into the rigors of working daily, interacting with guests, interacting with your own team members and your peers. But you have to be intentional and purposeful as it relates to keeping these actions alive. And it is the same thing with being a Christian, but it is even more alarming from a Christian perspective because number one, the world expects us to be nice. They do. They have this, people who are non-Christian have this look that they're expecting, right? Um, so much so that in your experience, has anyone ever asked you, "Are you a Christian?" And I'm saying that, throwing that out rhetorically to the audience or to the people that are listening, right? Or by comparison, they may say things like, "And you call yourself a Christian?" Well, two sides of the coin, right? The salt and light. Salt and light are the two elements that come to mind and are highlighted in the book. We are expected to be salt and light, which is why it is an emergency. I mean, there's so much to say and very little time to do it. The same way that in the book it highlights that there's so much to do as Christians and very little time to do it in. Right? And why is this an emergency? Because we are failing at being salt and light and being attractive enough to the world that we can eventually use ourselves and our behavior as a catalyst or a segue for people to get to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
You
The
know,
chat.
I know I'm cutting, but only because of time, because time is of the essence. But having watched the sermon that you preached, sir, I wondered about a couple of things you said, and I'm just throwing this one out to you. Are you, for example, saying that persons who probably speak in tongues, they might be charismatic, Pentecostal, etc., are you saying that they may not be as nice as Christians as those who are not charismatic? In other words, or they're not Pentecostals, or they're not evangelicals, generally speaking. In other words, you indicated that someone doesn't need to necessarily be always praying, etc., to be nice. I mean, your thoughts?
Well, we exist in the world. We are here in the world, but we're not expected to be of the world. Meaning that our behavior and how we look and are perceived by non-Christians is supposed to be different. I mean, marketplace ministry is something that I do every day. I'm involved with and around hundreds of people every single day. Now, I'm not using myself as a prime example. I'm using this as an example for us who are Christians. We are integrated into society, but we're not supposed to look like society, meaning that our behavior is supposed to be representational of Jesus Christ. And that is the
Yes, you,
emergency.
you, you you seem to be indicating that someone who might be always praying, they might be a prayer warrior, I don't know, but they might be speaking in tongues and etc., displaying the gifts of the Spirit, but you are indicating that they may not be as nice as someone on the road who's not a Christian, who's living their sort of non-Christian life. Anything specific on that you want to share with us? Because
Well,
I came away wondering if that's if
well,
that's part of your thesis.
and God in his wisdom anticipated that this is where we were going to be in 2024, and indeed for the last couple of centuries where we have lost the benchmark as being the nicest people. You see, we've overcomplicated Christianity into believing that the gifts are what matter. The gifts, when you have a chance encounter with somebody who is a non-Christian, they don't care whether you're a prayer warrior up on your knees at 3 o'clock in the morning, whether you can speak tongues, whether you can move mountains, raise the dead, walk on water. They don't care. At the end of the day, there's going to be a salt and light encounter within a few seconds or minutes that somebody is going to be able to determine that something is different
So
about this individual.
are you saying that it's irrelevant if you speak in tongues and display other gifts of the Spirit?
It don't make any difference in this case. Even First Corinthians saying that if you had the ability or the gifts to do all of these things and you lack charity, meaning love,
We
kindness,
know that we know about that scripture, but
yeah,
are you saying that people should stop engaging in the gifts of the Spirit?
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. That, but in terms of being able to draw non-Christians to Jesus Christ, how is somebody going to know that you have these giftings? Jesus never walked around with the disciples walking ahead of him with placards that say miracles at 6 o'clock this evening. Meet me in the market square. In fact, he shied away from his giftings as the precursor to his arrival.
Quickly, I want to raise this with you because I see we only have about 3 or 4 minutes left. In terms of Jesus Christ himself, when he was physically here walking amongst us in flesh, there was one occasion in which he cleared out the temple. He didn't appear to be nice at that point. He chased the persons out who were doing the wrong things in the temple. So in terms of being nice or kind, as the case may be, is there a limit? Because there are times when you can't be nice in all cases.
Absolutely, and we're not expected to be machines. The title is generalistic. It speaks to our existence, not to instances where we may have to exercise righteous indignation. He never sinned in all of this, neither with his mouth nor with anything. He didn't hurt anybody in the process. He turned over some money changing tables, and he scattered some sheep that were in there in the temple being sold, and doves and what have you. We're not machines. We're emotional people. We're going to have times when we are upset. David said it in the Psalms. He said he bridles his tongue so he would not sin from his mouth, and that is one of the things that almost instinctively gets us in trouble as Christian people, is that we have not yet learned how to bridle our tongue, because this is separate and apart from the appearance of being approachable.
When you
What
say as
proceeds out of
Christians,
our mouth?
when you say as Christians, you mean all Christians? You mean some Christians
Well, that
have
that
not learned to bridle
i-
their
i-
tongue?
if the cap fits, we have to wear it. Those of us who interact with people on a daily basis know who we are. The title has to be generalistic for it to be thought provoking, but at the end of the day, it really is going to come down to an intrinsic look at oneself and how you interact with people. Are you being representational of Jesus Christ, or are you misrepresenting him at the end of the day?
You did indicate that there's a distinction between being nice and being kind. Kind appears from how you have described it to be definitely more sincere, it's genuine, it's coming from the heart, as opposed to nice, which you can literally manufacture. So in terms of the title of your work, where are the nice Christians? Is the nice in inverted commas? Is it in quotes? Is it that you would rather say we're the kind Christians? But because I guess because of your work in the hospitality sector, and the whole emphasis on being hospitable, the word nice is what sort of more jumped out at you. What was the thought by using the word nice in the title of the book?
Well, nice is an action word. Nice is an action word. And at the end of the day, people are going to see your
Well,
actions,
I
what is
suppose kind. I suppose
exemplified.
you don't think. Well, I'm sure you think that kind is also an action word. I'm just trying to figure out the reason or the
Both,
motive behind
both
saying
of
nice.
them, both of them. To be honest with you, I mean, the Bible speaks about kindness being one of the fruit of the spirit,
Yes.
and but then, okay, one could be kind, and indeed one could be nice, but then where is the physical example of it? There
Okay.
needs to be some sort of indication that happens. And these are things that eventually are highlighted in the book. What are some of the physical things that can be used to exemplify,
Uh, uh,
to
uh,
indicate intention and purpose?
Understood, sir. A quick one before we wrap, because I think we're literally almost out of time now. What about those Christians who might be going through issues? They might have reasons why they are not appearing to be nice. There could be instances of depression. There could be instances of going through some sort of ordeal of one form or the other. So they don't seem nice, but they are genuine at heart. They are sincere people. Any thoughts before we wrap today?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I have days of despondency, days of issues that may come up in one's life. These are not talking about instances at the end of the day. These are talking about a lifestyle. It's our lifestyle, it's our personal
And
culture.
understood, sir. I know. And just one more before we close. Have you looked at this phenomenon of niceness in terms of other religions, or is it just Christianity you're focusing on? What about Buddhism, Hinduism,
Well, I've studied
Rastafarianism?
extensively all the other religions. Gandhi said it. He said, "I
So,
love
so,
you.
so,
I
so you,
love you."
so you believe that the not being nice is more specific to Christians?
Not necessarily, but I can only speak from the from the perspective of a Christian. I'm not a Buddhist, but
I
I
think
have respect for other people's. I never impose my beliefs on other religions or try to supersede them. I know who it is that I believe in.
You,
All
do
right,
you,
and
you believe that Christians should continue to evangelize, though, or should we?
no, absolutely, absolutely. But part of our evangelism, do we appear approachable? Are we nice and kind people? People are going to care about that even before you open your mouth to try and evangelize.
Totally understand, Mr. Azan. I think we're completely out of time for this segment, but I want to thank you for your time and for your thoughts. Very interesting topic, and all the best with the book.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here, Brother Stokeley.
Have a good one, Minister Azan. Listeners, please stay with us. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
With J-Bank, anything possible. With a little savings in your hand.
The time by Jan Bank is
6:31 and 45 seconds.
Chances are you're sitting in your car right now, or even a taxi, and you're stuck in traffic. But if you had a Flow prepaid plan, you would have unlimited data for navigation apps, so you could avoid much of the traffic and find a better way. So you would avoid bad driving Bobby to your right, who is boring into your lane, and singing Sasha, who doesn't realize everyone can see her. Now, Flow's unlimited social and talk prepaid plans come with unlimited data for navigation apps and more TikTok data and any use data. Get a 7-day Flow prepaid plan for only $950. Get your plan. Download the Top Up Flow app. Conditions apply.
GPS. Keep it cool, keep it cool. Summertime hot, but we have all the tools. Keep it cool, keep it cool.
No ways to see it, you just have to choose. Stay out of the fridge, just use a igloo. Remember your Kisco ice and the juice.
If an AC combo, yeah, I hit that. AC for a bit, then off and after that. Keep it cool, keep it cool.
This summer JPS have all the tools.
Keep you cool with JPS. Download the JPS app today.
Hey Jamaica! Get ready for the ultimate family-friendly event of the year. The best dressed chicken fun in the sun at the National Stadium. Saturday, April 20th, 10 a.m. Come experience a day filled with delicious food, good music, and great fun. Kids activities, job recruitment, health and wellness fair, and a gospel concert like no other with your favorite local and international artists. Saturday, April 20th. Save the date and join us for an unforgettable gospel celebration.
Importers, the Jamaica Customs Agency is revolutionizing your clearance experience as our contactless clearance process becomes mandatory on April 2, 2024. This process will facilitate the clearance of all non-commercial personal shipments at our seaports with a CIF value of less than $5,000 being inspected by customs without you or your agent present. You're encouraged to make your payments using our customs mobile app, JA Customs Connect. Fees payable to your shipping agent and warehouse operator remain applicable. For further information, contact your freight forwarder or email contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or call 876-922-5140 The JCA's contactless clearance process is convenient, efficient, and secure. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Mama work hard, for real. She do the most to send me and my brother go school. So, the dream was always to go to university. Well, I fulfilled 2 dreams with 1 Jane Bank savings plan, you know. I further my education and I make mama proud.
See you so you can make the part, travel far, graduate like a star.
Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
Ooh la la. I see what I want at Fast Rate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Come get your wires, breakers, chandeliers, flood lamps, LED bulbs, and so much more. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Fast Rate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. See you there at Fast Rich. Open Sundays.
Music is a gift from God, and there's no better way to praise Him than through gospel music. JCDC is now accepting entries for the 2024 Jamaica Gospel Star Competition. Singers and gospel lovers, send in your entries. Over $1 million in cash and prizes to be won. Deadline March 31. Only online entries will be accepted at jcdc.gov.jm/online-forms. Remember, Gospel Star is not an original song competition, so choose your favorite song and enter today.
Stokeley Marshall. Let's take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. And we have here in the Daily Observer, the physical version of the Daily Observer, we have business urged to support community-based banking. Business urged to support community-based banking. We also have on the front page of the Daily Observer, red card, Clark tackles Golding's criticism of government's economic performance. We have in the online version of the Gleaner, Orica Bessa, lockup escapee found sleeping under house. We also have 3,813 permanent posts to be created at NSWMA, and protesters call for increased access to Little Duns River. We turn now to Loop Jamaica News. Among the stories we have here in Loop Jamaica News, we have man reportedly stabs motorist who refused his help with flat tire. And Port Royal Museum to open in May. Those and many other stories in our various news sources. Coming up next, we'll read for some of the feedback from our Facebook and WhatsApp question, which is, why do you or someone you know refuse to wear a helmet while driving a motorcycle? If you haven't done so yet, leave a comment in our Facebook or YouTube. Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes too. 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Got to be a man. I am a man, I am a man, I am.
On the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on the topic men and worship. Worship can be defined as the reverence or adoration that one shows towards something or someone, holding a person or object in high esteem, or giving a person or an object a place of importance or honor. There are hundreds of scriptures in the Bible that speak about worship and provide guidance as to both who and how to worship. Are there differences between how men and women worship? You are invited to connect with us as we talk with Mr. Dwayne Murphy, aka D. Murphy, music minister, on Wednesday, March 27th at 5:30 p.m. on the family station. Love 101, the mailbox, Monday.
Maisie, I noticed from the past week you look so down. This is not the Maisie I'm used to.
Well, there's a lot been going on, because almost 30 years, John and I have been married without any problems, like sickness. But since lately, sickness after sickness after sickness, and I'm really getting tired.
Well, guess what? I think I know exactly what you need.
You do?
Trust me, this is our little secret. I have something which is better than any candlelight dinner. This Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on Love 101 with Dr. Colleen Beckles and guest counseling psychologist Andre Allen Casey. They are at it again. And this week, it's all about supporting your sick spouse. Make sure both of you tune in and Maisie, take the day off from work.
Would you love me when it's hard and my life's falling apart? If the things that we used to long ago.
Host Stokeley Marshall. We get right into the second watch. There have been many concerns and reports of persons dying as a result of motorcycle crashes, and oftentimes there is an issue arising as to whether or not the person who died was wearing a helmet. Well, we have a national helmet wearing coalition, and our guests today to have a discussion around motorcycle driving and the safety in relation thereto and the need to wear helmets. We have Dr. Lucian Jones. He is the vice chair of the National Road Safety Council, and we also have Marlon Chopper Fletcher. Chopper being, of course, in quotes, being his name he uses other than his real name. Marlon Chopper Fletcher, president of the Motorcyclists Association. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, how and why did this come about, and what's the objective of having the National Helmet Wearing Coalition? Perhaps I'll start with you, Dr. Jones, being that you have been sitting in the seat where safety is so crucial and you've been doing this for quite a while. Dr. Jones? Are we hearing Dr. Jones? Whilst we get that matter of the connection to Dr. Jones dealt with, Marlon Chopper Fletcher.
Hi, how are you doing? Let me correct you firstly. It's Cutter, not Chopper.
Cutter?
Yes.
You know, I'm so happy that I was very careful to say that it was not your real name.
It's Cutter, and it's a motorcycle name that was bestowed upon me years ago.
Yes, very important correction, Mr. Fletcher.
Very, very, very.
I say nothing more. So, Cutter, Marlon Cutter Fletcher, the objective of this National Helmet Wearing Coalition, tell us.
All right, so in 2004, 40 motorcyclists and pillion riders died from road crashes. Okay?
Slow down and repeat it.
In 2004, 20 years ago,
yes,
40 motorcyclists and pillion riders died in road crashes in Jamaica.
Yes.
In 2015, that figure skyrocketed to 111.
Okay.
In 2015, okay?
Yeah.
By 2023, it skyrocketed to over 150. All right.
Well, you know, I'm going to jump in immediately, Cutter. It could be because you just have more motorcycles on the road. That could be the reason.
And that is the need for an intervention. So the JN Foundation, in collaboration with the Road Safety Council and the UK-based FIA, has convened the National Helmet Wearing Coalition to increase the use of helmet wearing by riders or drivers of motorcycle and pillion riders. This is definitely a need.
Is it that you're saying that the reason why you have the deaths in those numbers from motorcycle driving, which we used to call motorcycle riding, is it because of not wearing helmet?
Yes, a vast 80% of the deaths on our roads via motorcycle. The riders or the pillion riders was not wearing a helmet. A vast 80% of them.
Let's bring in Dr. Lucian Jones. Dr. Jones? Dr. Lucian Jones? I think we should be having him on, but for some reason we are not hearing Dr. Jones. Let's continue, Marlon Fletcher, until we can have Dr. Jones join us. Who is the target audience of this initiative that you're currently doing, sir?
Well, the target audience is really motorcyclists that tend to be carefree and not want to wear a helmet. We need to drive home the importance of wearing a helmet and the fact that helmet saves lives. You know, so the target audience is really motorcycle.
But isn't it that a motorcyclist, they just want everybody to see their face and that they're the ones riding the bike?
And that therein lies the problem, you know.
And not wearing any protective gear is a part of it. Some even wear slippers.
Yes, is definitely a part of it, and that is why we formed the coalition in last Thursday, March 21, and we want to drive home the point to the bikers that helmets do work, and helmet is an important feature in motorcycle operations.
And of course, might we remind riders that it is not legal for them to be not wearing the helmet.
I'm not hearing anything.
I think we now have Dr. Jones on, but only challenge is that we are now upon a break. So listeners, please stay with us, and Dr. Jones, we'll have you right after the break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Follow the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development on Instagram and X at LocalGovJA. The time by the ministry is
7:46 and 35 seconds.
A time with double up your savings. Double up the boost that you've been awaiting. Put in the water dreams you've been chasing. Double up your savings. Double up.
Save so you can win in the Jan Bank Double Up Your Savings promotion. You could be one of 5 lucky quarterly winners to walk away with double the money you put in your savings account. Conditions apply.
Double up your savings.
Check our website and social media for details. Jan Bank will help you find a way. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Crime Stop Jamaica unsolved. 6:50 a.m. December 21, 2023. Greenfield District, St. Elizabeth. Police were summoned to the residence of 70-year-old contractor, Mr. Amos Conroy Thompson. His partially clad body had been seen half out of his Honda CRV, which was parked in his garage. Gunshots had been heard the night before, but not reported. Concerned family members in Crime Stop Jamaica are offering a total reward of $750,000 for information leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Look how the pitney them spoil up the sofa. This can't clean.
Call Bulldog.
Wait, the office space is such a mess. How am I going to fix this?
Call Bulldog.
Bulldog. Alberta, wake up. Why you ball out in your sleep, sir? Nightmare after nightmare since we see the mess at work and a yard.
Listen, you might a dream, but Bulldog Cleaning Service is a dream come true. Call them now and get your space at office and at home started out. Bulldog Cleaning Services. Call them at 876-227-3612 or visit their website at www.bulldog.services.
We're welcoming every woman with a special International Women's Day offer at Sagicor Bank.
Women who apply for a Sagicor Bank credit card get 5,000 bonus points with a qualifying purchase within 30 days. That's not all. Apply for a car loan or mortgage, and Sagicor Bank will welcome you with a reduction in your commitment fee. At Sagicor Bank, we want every woman to feel welcome. Conditions apply.
Join us as we celebrate 25 years of Youth Congress on Friday, April 5 and Saturday, April 6. Friday at 9 a.m. be at the National Convention Center for the National Talent Showcase Competitions, and 5 p.m. an electrifying evangelistic street meeting at the Old Bus Park in Old Harbour. The excitement continues on Saturday with a jam-packed day of activities, then culminating the epic Ignite Worship Fest with Kevin Downswell, Orville Sutherland, and more. Mark your calendars for April 5 and 6 and be a part of history at the New Testament Church of God Youth and Discipleship Department's Ignite Youth Congress. Forward together, keeping some families alive.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Bashco. Be everything where you need. Bash quality service guaranteed and a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco that gives you more. Yeah, Bashco. Get furniture for your house, and linen, everything for your kitchen, rug, smokes and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco.
Ooh la la. I see what I want at Phosphate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Come get your wires, breakers, chandeliers, flood lamps, LED bulbs, and so much more. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Phosphate Super Sale, March 18 to 28. See you there at Phosphate. Open Sundays.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the second watch. We're having a conversation with Dr. Lucian Jones, Vice Chair of the National Road Safety Council, as well as Marlon Cutter Fletcher, President of the Motorcyclists Association. Mr. Fletcher, just before the break, you were making a point. Would you like to finish that thought before we bring in Dr. Jones? Go ahead, Marlon Fletcher.
Yeah, so as I was saying, there's really a need for intervention regarding young people that operate motorcycles on our roads today.
Mostly young people or only young people?
Mostly young people, not only, but mostly young people, right? The National Helmet Wearing Coalition will address that by encouraging motorcyclists to wear the helmets, encouraging and educating them on the importance of helmet wearing.
A quick one, Cutter. Is it that the police are a little bit unwilling to prosecute persons who do not wear helmets? What are your thoughts on that?
All right. So in everything, enforcement is key. And if it is that it is the law and it is not being enforced, then riders will tend to want to flout the law because they are not being punished. Yeah. But I will also add to that is that motorcycles are a very dangerous piece of machinery. And if you try to, a lot of times the police have a challenge in trying to apprehend motorcyclists to prosecute them. It will also create a bigger risk by turning into a high-speed chase, and you will actually endanger the life of the motorcyclist and also bystanders. So I think
motorcyclists will tend to want to escape as opposed to stopping when they're flagged down by the police.
Yes, they will want to. So therein lies a challenge from the police standpoint, where trying to enforce the laws are concerned. You find that in trying to enforce these laws, you may end up creating a greater problem by a motorcycle getting away and mow down two people on the roadside. So the laws are to be enforced, but I think the police also have a challenge in trying to enforce the laws.
Well, let's bring in Dr. Lucian Jones. Dr. Jones, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Jones. I think we have him on, but I'm not too sure why we're not hearing him. Dr. Jones? We heard him very briefly for a moment just before we went to the break. Dr. Lucian Jones? We seem to be having a challenge. Listeners, we do apologize for us not having for us not being able to hear Dr. Lucian Jones in terms of, taking part fully in the interview so far. And we hope to have that matter rectified in a few moments. Marlon Cotter Fletcher. Now, whilst we try to resolve our issues in terms of having Dr. Jones on, and we really like to hear from him, why do you think some people refuse to wear a helmet, whether they are drivers of motorcycles or even pillion riders?
There are some genuine points that motorcyclists have to tend to get used to. One of them being that the helmet is hot and Jamaica is a tropical climate. But I would prefer be hot than in an accident or a fatal accident any day. Some of it is just
and what I think some drivers of motorcycles will do to mitigate that, they will sort of adjust the helmet in such a way where you see their face. I guess they need some breeze to keep them fairly as cool as possible, but the helmet isn't fully on their head, which
no, the helmet needs to be fully on their head and securely fastened. I'll go further.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm agreeing with you because the effect of having it, as some Jamaicans would say, cotched on their head, is that the helmet is really of no moment. It's not providing the protection needed.
Yeah, but it's also youthful ignorance because the helmets are designed with a lot of ventilation these days. Yeah. Gone are the days when a helmet is completely hot. I mean, research and development would have changed the design in helmets where there are a lot of ventilation, there are a lot of holes and vents that you can open and close as you see fit, right? There's also what we would call a full face helmet versus a half face helmet, which offers more ventilation but still protects the head. So this is where the helmet wearing coalition comes in, where we will actually educate motorcyclists in Jamaica, along with the importance of the need to wear a helmet, that there are helmets to suit different lifestyles.
How do people connect with this coalition? Because it's one thing to say you have a coalition, but how do people connect with it?
Well, we have started. Our launch was last week, Thursday. We are going to do a lot of groundwork. We are going to go into the communities.
Where was the launch? Was it a physical?
The launch was yes, it was a physical launch at the AC Hotel on March 21st. Our work has just begun. We will be going into the communities. We'll be going into the nooks and crannies of Jamaica, educating bikers, having seminars, having sort of a street parade in educating bikers the importance of wearing a helmet. So our work has just begun. We will be out on the streets. We will be in the nooks and crannies in the communities, at the bike shows, at anything motorcycle related. We will be there to educate the bikers about the importance of wearing helmets.
And the funding for this initiative?
It is funded by the FIA and the JN Foundation, along with the Road Safety Council.
Okay. And what about things other than helmets? Because we find that a lot of focus is on the helmet, but sometimes people forget that if you fall off of a motorcycle, the injury to your skin and other parts of your body can be tremendous.
All right. So as a biker myself, I will tell you that all gears are important. All motorcycle gears are important. Gloves are important. A proper shoes is important. Jackets and a sturdy pants is important in riding a motorcycle. But why are we focusing on the helmet? Because really and truly, head injury is what is putting a strain on the emergency services, and that is what is really causing the fatalities in Jamaica. Now, I do understand that you can fall off a motorcycle and get a road rash, but sometimes that is repairable, and you can go about your daily lives and feed your family and work for your family. Now, imagine a head injury that you may not be dead, but a head injury can put you in a vegetative state and you will not be able to provide for your family. So really and truly, we are pressing. While we do understand that all gears are important, we have to drive home the most important point first, and that is helmets. Helmets do work.
Thank you for all of what you have said so far, Mr. Fletcher. And I must mention that we have made a further attempt, I believe, to have Dr. Jones on, but for whatever reason, we just seem to be unable to either connect with him, or if we do connect with him, we're not hearing him on the platform, and we do apologize for that. Any final thoughts you want to leave with us, sir? Because Mr. Fletcher, sir, because and in making a final call, sir, can you remind us of the need for the need for safety, the need to wear the helmets, and of course the purpose of the coalition?
All right, so first you need to wear a helmet. Helmet saves lives. I am a living testament to that. I have been riding motorcycles from, as I would say, Saltfish or Shingle House stop, and I can tell you that helmet has saved my life many times, as a professional motorcyclist. Now, the need for the helmet wearing coalition is to educate the young men and young women, beat riders and pillion riders, that helmets do work and the importance of wearing a helmet. Because you have to understand that these motorcycles go very fast, even the small ones, right? And having an accident on a motorcycle, which is an open piece of machinery, right? Your body will be flung from the motorcycle at whatever speed the motorcycle is going. I can't say it any more blunt than that. So if you're traveling 80 miles an hour, your body will be propelled off that motorcycle at 80 miles an hour. So a helmet is very important to protect your head.
And only because of time, we have to wrap it there. But I will also add, sir, that the need to not go above the speed limit is very crucial. You did mention speed. So you did mention speed.
Yes, the need to not go above the speed limit is very important. But we also have to, call a spade and say that, if it is that you're going to, you need to be wearing a helmet.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. And we do apologize for not having Dr. Jones on. Thank you for your time and for your thoughts, Mr. Fletcher. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Join us again tomorrow as we look at other topical and controversial issues. And of course, visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook page for this and all other Love 101 FM programs. And download our app. Our Love 101 app is stay connected to the family station. Love 101 FM, the #1 gospel station in Jamaica. This has been The Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests. I am Stokeley Marshall, headed back to Love in the Morning with Kareem.
That was The Morning Watch with Stokeley Marshall. You are now invited to listen to the program Forward in Faith